With that being said, did Pimp C really have a tape of somebody in the industry that would break the internet?
But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose, you know, as a Montana goose. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they also know who was having money at the time. So it's not really hard to figure out.
I know who let them models stick them dildos in them, and I know who did what, where, when, and why.
Wow, we're in a situation where no one in the public is going to be able to see those freak-offs. They will have privacy screens. The jurors will, on their computers, on their monitors in front of them. They will be the only ones that get to view that. The direct examination has begun already.
Things just hit maximum chaos in the courtroom. People are now asking the unthinkable. Did Jay-Z really silence Pimp C to cover up something about Beyonce?
You had mentioned Pimp C earlier. With that being said, did Pimp C really have a tape of somebody in the industry that would break the internet? You look like you done seen it, Marvin. You done seen it. Marvin seen it.
Tell him who it is.
Hey, man, tell him who it is. We still trying to find out who was in this Pimp C tape.
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Whoever it was, they had to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is.
Allegedly, a secret recording made by Pimp C himself is about to shake the entire industry. Court insiders say this tape could blow the lid off everything, from steamy hookups with Beyonce to dirty moves from both Jay and Diddy. And if what folks are whispering is true, that very tape could be the real reason why Pimp C ended up dead.
It is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose, you know, as a Montana goose. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they also know who was having money at the time. So it's not really hard to figure out.
Word on the street is that the tape features Pimp and Bey together, possibly caught up in something way too risky for Jay-Z to let slide. Think about it. If your girl got caught on tape with a man like Pimp C and you're Jay-Z with all that power, you're not just sitting back watching it all unfold. For years, fans been suspicious about what really went down in that hotel room. There were always whispers, but now, with the feds officially involved and ready to make moves, this case is about to get messy, fast. So what's really going on here? Could Jay-Z have made sure that tape stayed buried by any means? Is there actually truth behind the rumors that Pimp and Bey had a thing?
What was it a decent tape, by the way?
Well, you know, we was sitting at his mama house, and I was showing him my movie that was yet to come out, Pimpology. And so he said, Ken, I got something to show you, man. So he seen it, you know, me, you know, I'm saying, man, you know me coming from the P world, you know, I ain't trying to see no.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I seen who it was. I was like, damn, her? I said, man, damn, she R&B, ain't she? You know what I'm saying?
Big time.
I said, him? I said, man, he married and he got a bank. You know what I'm saying? I said, I hope this don't get out. So it was more like that with me. So, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it wasn't no real, like, tape. They was just getting their freak on. You know what I'm saying?
In the studio.
In the studio. And Pimp just had a camcorder. He was in the booth.
Now get this. Reports say the feds are preparing to play the tape in court to link both Jay-Z and Beyonce to Diddy's madness. Pimp C himself and his friend Ken even hinted at the tape's existence in an old interview. So Pimpin' claimed the tape was so explosive, TMZ would have paid big bucks, no questions asked. That's how major this was. At first, Dez played it cool. He acted like he didn't want to reveal too much out of respect for Pimp C's memory. But when the heat got turned up during the interview, he folded a little, admitting he did watch the tape with his own eyes, and when they kept pressing him, he started letting some details slip. Dez dropped a big clue, saying the woman in the video was one of the biggest R&B stars in the world. She was in the studio while it was being recorded, But surprisingly, Pimp C himself wasn't in the actual footage.
Trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started f***ing all the girls.
Now pause right there. If you connect who Pimp C was close to back in those days and match that with the hints Dez dropped, the pieces line up way too perfect. All signs point to Queen Bey. Yeah, that Queen Bey. Back then, people brushed it off like Dez was just talking reckless. But now, with everything coming to light, fans are starting to realize he was dead serious the whole time. One fan even said something wild, claiming Bey's parents pimped her out for money, but hid behind church talk to cover it up. And now folks are saying maybe that same pattern just kept repeating.
Because none of us have ever really been this close to her as the full-fledged superstar that she is now. I think this is during the scene with the chairs. So it's like her and several other girls, and they all have these short skirts on or dresses, whatever, and they're all dancing seductively on the chair. They've got a leg up on the chair so you can kind of see the thigh and maybe a little bit of butt if you're staring hard enough. And Jay-Z calls and talks to one of her assistants. If I had to guess, it would be her cousin Angie that he would have talked to, because Angie has always been the right hand to Beyonce. And he's like, yeah, how's the video going? Oh, it's going good. Or, are the guys there? Yeah, they're there. You know, it's them and some of their homies. And we're the only, all of the guys that are with us are the only men there. And well, let's say this. There were other men there, but they weren't straight.
Sure.
So he's like, wait a minute, how many dudes are there? And so she's like, oh, it's about 9 or 10 guys, I guess, over there. Where are they now? They're in here, they're in the soundstage, they're kind of watching, watching her film. What is she wearing?
Now, according to Bun B, the other half of Jay-Z was low-key jealous of Pimp C, and not just a little. One time, Pimp C, Beyonce, and some others were in the studio vibing. Jay called in out of nowhere asking straight-up questions, who all there, and what's Bey wearing? And when he heard she had on something revealing, he instantly told the guys to leave. No joke, they got kicked out the studio and were sent to chill in the dressing rooms like they were in timeout. Later, Beyonce herself came over to say sorry, claiming Jay wasn't okay with her dancing in front of other dudes. But let's be real, it sounds more like possessive energy than love. Jay was clearly sweating the idea of Pimp C getting too close. But here's where it gets even messier. Bun B also spilled that Beyonce's own dad, Matthew Knowles, allegedly once asked Pimp C to take her out and show her a good time. Yeah.
Describe the outfit, and he's like, yo, clear the room.
Wow.
So they immediately come over to us, and they kick all of us out, send us up to our dressing rooms.
Wow.
And we're told to stay there until we have to shoot.
Okay.
We're not allowed to watch Beyonce dance anymore in the video. And so I guess Beyonce gets wind of the call. She comes up and she apologizes to us for having to, I'm so sorry you guys had to leave the room, but Jay's not comfortable.
Before Destiny's Child blew up, they were in the same studio building as UK. Pimp just stopped by to say what's up, and Beyonce was all shy. She wasn't famous yet. Apparently, her dad peeped the energy and tried to push the moment further. But here's the real nightmare for Beyonce. It's not just fans digging up old tea about her past. It's that all these deep, dark secrets might be dragged into the courtroom, on record. And baby, that changes everything. Whispers are getting louder that the feds believe those missing tapes might be the real reason Jay allegedly had to get Pimp C out of the picture.
A lot of our guys in there's a shit ton of Rabbi guys in the building. And Destiny's Child is recording in another room in the studio.
Okay.
And so Pimp goes in, they're like, Destiny Child over. He's like, oh, I want to meet them. They tight. He goes in and he introduces himself. And I guess Beyonce was kind of taken aback that she was meeting Pimp C. Again, this was before Destiny's Child was a worldwide phenomenon. And so he comes back in the studio and we're recording and hanging out. And Matthew Knowles comes in and he asks Pimp, can I talk to you for a minute? And so they leave out for a couple of minutes. And Pimp comes in and he's dying laughing. And we're like, what's wrong? He's like, yo, Matthew Knowles just told me to f*** his daughter, man.
See, Pimp C's death never sat right with folks. He was found lifeless in his hotel room on December 4th, 2007, but the official story blamed it on a bad combo of lean and sleep apnea. That's what the coroner's report said. Case closed, right? Not exactly. The man was staying at the Mondrian Hotel in West Hollywood. He had been in town working on fresh tracks and performing with Too Short. Everything looked cool from the outside, but then Boom, December 4th hits, and he's a no-show for his flight back home. Didn't call, didn't check in. That's when things got spooky. His wife, panicking, asked hotel staff to check his room. Sadly, when hotel staff finally entered Pimp C's room, it was already too late. He was found completely unresponsive. The authorities were called right away, but paramedics couldn't save him, just like that. Pimp C was gone at only 33 years old. At first, the coroner ruled it an accidental death. The report blamed a lethal mix of codeine, aka lean, and his known battle with sleep apnea. On paper, it looked like a tragic but straightforward case. But then, things took a chilling turn.
I'm like, all right, let's do it. And Pimp like, I'm not going no mother Trinidad, shoot up got a video. Because he had just bought a new car. He had a new lady friend at the time. And he felt he didn't want to leave the situation to go do the video.
DJ Paul from 3 6 Mafia revealed something wild. Pimp's manager, Rick Martin, had actually seen the room himself, and what he saw didn't match the story. Martin said Pimp's body was laid out like he was praying, but there was blood around him, a lot, so much so that folks originally thought he'd been shot in the head.
Who was that with? I said, with Rockefeller. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I was watching Dan with the checkbook he writing out. He was like, ain't that with, over there with Jay-Z? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, tell him to take that check and go give it to Tupac Mama, man. He's gonna be stealing all my shit. I was like, what?
The scene was that intense. They were standing there like, what the hell happened in here? The position of the body, the blood, none of it made sense. And to make it even creepier, there were candles in the room, burned down to the base. Pimp always lit candles to sleep, and seeing them melted down like that meant he'd probably been dead for over a day before anyone found him. Those big tall candles Pimp C used to light, when they found his body, they had burned all the way down, meaning he had likely been dead for a while before anyone even noticed. And if that's not spooky enough, even 2 Hort, who was with Pimp the night before he passed, said the whole thing felt off. In an emotional interview, 2 Hort said, I can't believe it's been 10 years and I still haven't come to terms with how it all went down. He added that it's always these strange, shady hotel deaths. People found alone in luxury rooms, no witnesses, no clear signs, and he's just like, what the hell is going on with celebrities in hotel rooms? And he's not the only one raising eyebrows. 2 Hort even hinted at something deeper, saying, the powers that be, check the 27 Club.
Ain't never been.
And watch this, boy. I'm gonna say this too, you niggas out there think this shit is cool, but it ain't cool. Me and this man ain't never been butt naked in no room together with no hoes.
Joe to see a Puffy on any of them niggas. They been at my house. They all see me. They all know I'm a big.
Yeah.
Pulling no orgy type shit or doing none of that whole ass shit you niggas out there be doing, thinking you doing some fly shit. If you're in a room naked with some other and some broad and looking at your ass, and if that shit is gay, and you need to get on some other shit. Me and this man got nothing but respect for each other. We ain't never put no train. We ain't no motherfucking freaks. We some family men. We getting this paper. You know what I'm talking about? And I had to put that out there, boy, because a lot of niggas doing a lot of fugazi and shit.
Now, for those who don't know, the 27 Club is a chilling pattern where iconic artists like Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, and Jimi Hendrix all died mysteriously at the age of 27. It's become a symbol of how fame, secrets, and dark forces seem to collide behind closed doors in the music industry. And even though Pimp C wasn't 27, the energy of his death fits the pattern all too well. High profile, sudden, and wrapped in mystery.
I know who let them models stick them dildos in them, and I know who did what, where, when, and why.
Wow. 2 Hort's words lit a fire under the conspiracy crowd, and honestly, fans have been digging ever since. Look at Kim Porter's pneumonia, Prince's accidental overdose, or even DMX's sudden passing. All of them left people saying the same thing. This doesn't feel natural. In all these mysterious celeb deaths, there always seems to be hidden signs, clues pointing to a cover-up, to someone powerful pulling strings. But just like Pimp C's case, the truth kept getting buried, and the ones who may have been responsible, they walked away untouched, but not this time. Because now, that infamous tape is finally about to be played in front of a jury. And guess who's suddenly in the spotlight? Jay-Z. Yep, the feds are reportedly circling him now. Why? Because this situation got Jay's fingerprints all over it. Not only did Pimp C allegedly get too close to Beyonce and record something that could destroy reputations, but Jay had multiple motives to keep that man quiet. See, Jay and Pimp first linked up back in 1999 for that massive hit, Big Pimpin'. The track was a commercial smash, but behind the scenes, there was tension bubbling the whole time.
And Sean Carter, you're a piece of taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough? You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston?
In a 2005 interview with MTV, Pimp C said he didn't even want to do the record. It sounded like a pop record to me, he admitted. I didn't want to do it. It scared me because I didn't know how people was going to take us going in that direction. But Jay, he pressed him hard, telling Pimp straight up, look, family, it's going to be the biggest record of your career. If you don't do it for yourself, just do it for me. That's what Jay told Pimp C to convince him to hop on Big Pimpin', and Pimp agreed. That one line was enough to get him on board. But here's the thing. Pimp never really rocked with Jay like that. Even after dropping a chart-topping hit together, Pimp held on to that grudge. He never liked Jay-Z, and he wasn't shy about it either. Bun B later revealed that when it came time to shoot the Big Pimpin' music video, Pimp ghosted the entire set. No show, no call. And why? Pure spite. He did it just to tick Jay off. So what was the real beef? Turns out Pimp C had a moral line Jay didn't want to cross. See, Pimp wanted Jay to break off $1 million from the record and give it to Machiavelli's mom, Tupac's mother, as a sign of respect. He felt like it was the right thing to do, especially since that style and street energy came from Pac's lane. But Jay-Z, he heard every word, and let's be real, if there's one thing Jay can't stand, it's someone questioning his status or his power. And Pimp, he straight up challenged it. But yo, that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Well, did he start snitching?
He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened to Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and Jay-Z. Down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy?
Apparently, Pimp C wasn't afraid to speak on what really goes down behind the curtains in the industry, and that's what made him dangerous. In one of his interviews, Pimp openly said he knew exactly how Diddy and Jay-Z moved behind the scenes, and he wanted no part of that world. He stood tall on his values, saying he was a family man and didn't roll with all that twisted Hollywood energy. But calling out the industry like that, that's a fast way to make enemies. And Pimp didn't flinch, he didn't switch up, he kept doing what he believed in. Unfortunately, some folks think that boldness may have cost him his life. Jaguar Wright, who's known for dropping controversial truths, believes Jay-Z is responsible for what happened to Pimp. Straight up, and she's not alone. Because if the feds decide to follow the trail and really investigate what folks have been whispering for years, Diddy might get caught up too. Why? Simple. Jay and Diddy have always been tight. And if Jay found out Pimp C had been with Beyonce and made a tape, you really think he wouldn't call on his most powerful ally to help shut it down? Jaguar even claims Jay asked Diddy to handle another messy situation before. His former mistress Kathy White, who also passed under mysterious circumstances. So, if he did it once, at this point it's looking more and more like the rumors weren't just wild talk. They might have been the real story all along. And now, the truth is bubbling to the surface, ready to explode. Fans always felt like Pimp C's death was too messy to be a coincidence. And now that the tape's about to be played, the industry's got a serious problem on its hands. The only question left is, will the ones responsible finally get exposed and held accountable? Could Jay-Z be forced to testify? Will the feds officially dig into what really happened that night? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I need to know what you think about this whole situation. And if you thought this was wild, you definitely don't want to miss what we uncovered next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and tap that notification bell so you never miss another messy update. See you on the next one, where it gets even deeper.